Where are the people?
Okay.
Enemy helicopter.
Helicopter, helicopter!
I'm shooting it. It's down. Got it.
Well played. That's how we do it.
Enemy jet. Next to our spawn.
Oh no!
We don't talk about it.
Alright, well that's the first weekend of the Battlefield beta over, and oh my goodness, what an absolute blast, honestly. If the player numbers don't speak for how much hype this game has, then everything else that I've got to say here will. Here's the numbers for the Steam chart over the weekend, and obviously that's just Steam. The game was available through Epic and the EA app as well. I'm not sure what else, but it was absolutely popping off even in the early access days, the 2 days before it was open to everybody. There was absolute massive queues. The initial reaction video that I posted, there was like 140,000th in the queue as soon as it opened on the Thursday. Since then I've ended up playing about 15 hours, probably a wee bit more. And it's just completely wild. It's a beta and I just felt like completely pulled in. But this video basically is going to be my thoughts on the beta as a whole after the first weekend, after trying pretty much everything that I could. Drop a like if you enjoy this, if you've been playing Battlefield 6, the beta. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. And we'll start with the good stuff, which there is a hell of a lot of. We'll start with the guns and the gunplay. I did get my hands on most of the guns and they all feel and sound absolutely phenomenal. The weight and feel of the recoil is pretty realistic. You actually feel like you're shooting a gun, and it doesn't have that kind of floaty feel that some other FPS games have. And I couldn't really see like zero recoil beaming weapons, although maybe there is with some crazy mod setups that people have experimented with, but all the ones that I use seem to have like pretty considerable recoil that you have to control. On top of all the ones that I tested though, they all felt pretty unique and different from one another. My favourite gun out of the ones that I tried was probably the second LMG for the support, the KTS 100. It was absolutely brutal. Multiple games where I was just laying waste to enemies from range, just firing from afar, just unloading the drum bag. But aye, overall the guns just felt completely fantastic. There's obviously going to be way more to play with when the full game launches. I should also mention here the customization, which I feel is a huge step up from previous titles and offers way more flexibility with the way you want a gun to perform. So you can like kit it out for a longer range with lower recoil, bigger mag size, so you can play safer, that kind of thing. Or you can chop it down to increase handling and make it more suitable for running and gunning. And the only thing I wasn't a huge fan of with is the attachment variety. There's not a huge amount to select from, but I'm hoping there will be more in the full game. And the way they do it, the weapon budget, it's really cool and unique. I don't think I've ever really seen a system like that before. It's definitely a really interesting way to balance the attachments and make weapon builds varied and fresh. I absolutely love that part. So the atmosphere, this has just been absolutely, honestly nailed in my opinion. It really shines in modes like Breakthrough, where the action is condensed into a kind of smaller area, and it's just absolute all-out chaos. Here's some clips of some of the absolute chaos that can happen.
See, push it, just push it, come push it now, just run out. Oh, why did I run back? I should have left the heal. I should have stayed on the objective.
I can't see.
Yeah, oh bro, our entire, like, there's two squads behind. Whilst it's happening to my screen.
What is going on? Honestly. What the hell?
Oh, I can't. Bro, what is happening? I need meds.
I'm dead. Oh my god, what
I
is
can't
that?
see. Oh my god.
What is actually going on?
What is going on?
Well, that's just a snippet of some of the chaos that can ensue. It's just so visceral and sometimes honestly overwhelming, and you feel totally immersed. Especially if you use it with the War Tapes Val audio mix, which just adds to the aggressiveness of the atmosphere by changing the way the audio sounds. They've done such an amazing job here, feeling like you're actually part of the battlefield. Explosions going off all around you, rubble crumbling, bullets and rockets whizzing past you, soldiers screaming from dying or being shot at. It's just absolutely fantastic and I cannot commend it anymore. It's honestly just top-notch stuff. And the visuals. So Battlefield's always been kind of top of the game when it comes to visuals, and this game does definitely not disappoint in the slightest. On the beta I was playing with maxed out settings, I wasn't using any upscaling, running at native 1440p, and I was actually blown away. If you can get a moment of quiet and just kind of take it in, especially Liberation Peak really shone for the visuals, like just the massive majestic mountains in the background. It's honestly a little bit mind-blowing really. To be expected coming from Battlefield because like I said they're always kind of top of the game with it, but it's seriously impressive when you match it up with all the chaos and everything that goes on. It's just crazy that they've actually got that level of visual fidelity. It's absolutely phenomenal. We'll talk a wee bit about the destruction as well. So the destruction in this game is by far the best I think we've ever seen in a Battlefield game. They've really made it a proper impact of the game rather than just being an afterthought or a gimmick. There's an enemy hiding in a building posted up with a gun annoying you and your team. Engineer or tank just rip it to shreds, take the building down, or the assault can knock down the floor with a grenade launcher and just remove their advantage entirely. You can rip walls open, you can remove enemy cover, you can create new paths. It's all just so fluid and it just works amazingly well. When you're sitting in a building and it's on the verge of collapsing or you're about to get buried, you're actually genuinely terrified and it's just pure fantastic. Wee Brucey bonus with that, obviously, you can get some easy kills if there's people in a building or below the building. And you knock the rubble down and just crush them, which can make for some pretty damn hilarious moments. We'll talk a wee bit about the performance as well. So I can't really comment too much on this, because I've got quite a beefy rig and I was running the game maxed out without any upscaling. Wasn't like tracking my frame rate or anything, but it felt pretty much buttery smooth throughout my entire playtime. For the way the game looks and everything that happens, I was actually pretty damn surprised with how well it ran. I did expect some spikes and things like that, but honestly, absolutely nothing. Speaking to other players though, they were saying it's probably quite CPU heavy, so you're going to need a pretty good rig overall to if you really want to push this game to the max, but overall no complaints at all. Let me know down in the comments how it ran for you if you've got any issues with that. We'll talk a bit about the audio as well, so kind of ties in with what we talked about earlier with the atmosphere, but the audio is just absolutely outstanding, honestly. Zero complaints. I was using the War Tapes Val mix for most of the beta. It's just unreal how immersive and visceral the audio is. You genuinely feel like you're in the war zone. I touched on this a little earlier, like I said, but it ties in pretty well. The explosions, the guns, the soldiers screaming, the like reverb of the audio when you're in a building, just absolutely fantastic. All the guns as well, they sound pure meaty and realistic. The way you get shell shock after explosions going off near you as well just really adds to the experience. As well as that, the vehicles sound incredible, the guns just feel pure power. It's just absolute peak, absolute cinema. And we'll talk a wee bit about squad play as well. So the squad play, just with the way all the classes work together, there's serious potential here. Especially if you've got a good 4-man squad with comms on the go. It's pretty damn good, especially if you play around like the IFV or the tank. So you've got an engineer to help you stay in the fight, you've got a recon to help you, you've got assault to help clear paths and things like that. There was one match in particular that comes to mind. We were on Siege of Cairo, Conquest, we were in a tank, I was driving, comms were on fire, we were just patrolling around the map, capturing flags, crushing all the enemy armour, just wiping out the team. We ended up playing like half the match in the one bloody tank. It's absolute peak gameplay and it was just so much goddamn fun. A lot of the classes obviously play well together, so support and assault for instance, because the assault will run out of ammo quite quickly. The support can resupply them, so that's pretty damn nice. Absolute great potential for some serious squad play. Talk a wee bit about open versus closed weapons as well. So I honestly thought this one would be a bit more of a dead set, yes I like it, but I actually found myself just playing the regular modes more with the open weapons. The way they've balanced the classes means you're kind of incentivized to use the class-based weapons, but you do have the option to use whatever you want. So for instance, like if you're playing support, you'll get the movement speed penalty removed or reduced for your LMG, but if you use that on assault or engineer for instance, they're going to be at a disadvantage. So it kind of like prompts you to use the class-based weapons, but having that option to use whatever you want is pretty damn good. So honestly, I don't have any issue with it being open. I think I might actually prefer it, but the devs need to make a decision so they're not splitting the player base. Like, what do they want the norm to be? But let me know your thoughts on that one down in the comments below. I know it's a bit of a tentative one, but drop a comment. We'll talk a bit about the maps as well. So the maps are mostly great. There is some kind of imbalance issues with Liberation Peak in particular, specifically on Breakthrough mode. The first couple of objectives are pretty damn hard on attack if the enemies are just spamming recon and just sniping you like it's going out of style. It's like sniper heaven, that map, and it's a wee bit harsh to be honest when you're on the receiving end, but the rest of the maps, from what I could see they play and flow really well, so no complaints here other than maybe we need some bigger maps. I think all of the maps, the 3 that we had, they're not small, but they're small for a Battlefield map or a typical Battlefield map, but I'm looking forward to trying the New York map. I think it's called Empire State in Beta Weekend 2, and for the rest of them at launch. So we'll talk about the kind of things that I didn't like, or the bad things, shall we say. It's not a huge amount here, but the only thing that I have to say was there's quite a few graphical glitches, like stretching textures or things like going across the screen that definitely shouldn't have been there when certain things were happening. It didn't really last long and it did go away quickly, but it did happen on several occasions for me and it looked pretty horrendous. Kind of took you out of the experience a wee bit as well. Other than that, I maybe only crashed like once or twice during my entire time playing, so 2 times, 3 times over the course of like 15-20 hours. It's not a huge deal. There was also issues with the UI elements when in the lobby and like things overlapping. I didn't really like the UI in general, if I'm being honest. And there was an issue where you couldn't quit the game. It like put you into the game and you try to quit and the game's just like, nah, what you did, mate, you're not allowed to quit. So it was pretty weird and pretty annoying, if I'm being honest. You had to end up completely exiting out of the game. We also didn't have a server browser. We do definitely need that for the full release. I know it's just a beta and it probably wouldn't be in the beta in the first place, but in the full game for sure we need that for longevity and the kind of community aspect of the game, because that's been in older Battlefields and that's why they're still played to this date, to be honest, is the server browser. If all these kind of kinks are ironed out for a full release, it could be, honestly, just peak. It's just exactly what people have been wanting. But overall, these issues aren't hugely concerning, to be honest, but the only thing that is hugely concerning in my eyes is that apparently there were quite a few cheaters in the beta. I mean, cheaters in a beta? What kind of bloody sad loser cheats in a goddamn beta? It's not even a full game, it's just a beta where people are trying it out and try to test and just get used to the game, and your progress is going to be wiped anyway, so why the hell would you be cheating? Actual sad existence that these people must have, honestly. I didn't actually encounter anything firsthand that I thought was cheating, like nothing super sus, but I have seen clips online that there's people blatantly cheating and you can see it, and it's just so damn unbelievably pathetic and sad, honestly. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video, so that kind of sums up my thoughts on the first weekend beta. Absolutely loved this to bits and I can't wait for the second weekend, so if you enjoyed this one, if you agree with what I said, drop a comment down below, subscribe if you're new here, and I will catch you in the next one.